explore the implications. Lawson Naidoo is from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution, or CASAC. He's joining us from our Cape Town studio this morning. Lawson, a very good morning and thanks for your time. And I suppose the question would have to be, what else was Malusi Gigaba expecting from the Constitutional Court?
Well, indeed. I mean, he had sought leave to appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal previously, and that was turned down on the basis that there were no prospects of success. So it's really not surprising that the Constitutional Court came to the same decision, which has now, closed the road for him in terms of appealing the Fireblade decision. He has been found by the courts, therefore, to have lied under oath. And, this was confirmed by the Public Protector's report that was released just a few days ago.
And, I mean, do we see it as just another desperate man trying desperately to hold on to a position when many feel Malusi Gigaba should have gone a long time ago? I mean, in this case, there's no disputing the truth here. We know the Public Protector, it is fact that he violated the Ethics Code. It is fact that he violated the Constitution. So, what actually must happen now?
Well, I mean, as they say, Mr. Gigaba ought to do the honourable thing and resign. I mean, we know from just a few weeks ago that another former finance minister, Nhlanhla Nene, resigned after, having found to have been untruthful in a media interview about the number of times he had met the Guptas. And, that's the kind of standard that I think we wish to see in public life in South Africa. And if Malusi Gigaba were to emulate that, I think it would be a way forward. But, he's clearly intent on digging his heels in and forcing the president to take a decision. But, and I think should the president need to take a decision, he only has one option, really, and that is to fire Mr. Gigaba from cabinet.
I mean, we know that the Portfolio Committee, Home Affairs in Parliament, is asking or wants to hear from him today. They have some questions for him following the Oppenheimers coming before them earlier this week. If you were there, what sort of questions would you be asking Malusi Gigaba if you were part of that process?
Well, the evidence given earlier this week by the Oppenheimers would suggest that, on their version of things, that the minister had agreed to the terminal being operated by Fireblade at OR Tambo Airport. That confirms the decision of the courts as well as of the Public Protector. And if I were in that committee, I would ask Mr. Gigaba for his version and why there is that difference, and whether in fact he was untruthful in his evidence, both to the court and to the parliamentary committee itself.
I mean, we know that the Constitutional Court has spoken, Lawson. We know that this is, and that's where the buck stops. But just for clarity, is there any recourse? Is there any other avenue, any other sort of loophole that Malusi Gigaba could use to hold on to his job at this point?
Absolutely none, and I think it would be a sad day for South Africa if the president were to retain Mr. Gigaba in cabinet, given this litany of findings against him. That he should have resigned already in earlier this year. When the High Court found that he had lied under oath. But, unfortunately, that did not happen. He's dug his heels in, and now I think he needs to be fired. There is certainly no further legal recourse for him. He's talked about wanting to take the Public Protector's report and review. That would be a total waste of time and money. It's clear from the Constitutional Court judgment that the findings in the Public Protector's report are indeed correct, that he has lied under oath, he has violated the Executive Ethics Code, and he has violated his oath of office.
Now we know the president, already the one strike against Tom Moyane, firing him yesterday, and as everybody waits to see what he does with Malusi Gigaba, the ANC's top six will be meeting this weekend. With an election almost upon us, you would imagine that this would be the time for the president to show that he really is cleaning house.
Well, I think, the president is facing some serious challenges. We heard just earlier this week from the Gauteng ANC, who refused to act on a recommendation from their own Integrity Commission that Kedani Mashlangu and Brian Shlongwa should be removed from their positions in the provincial executive. So I think there's certainly, double standards within the ANC at the moment, and if they're really serious about portraying a party of clean government, they need to be acting against members of the executive, whether at national, provincial level, who are found to have flouted the laws and the rules of the country, especially regarding ethical conduct and conflicts of interest.
Okay, so the writing's on the wall for Malusi Gigaba. Thanks very much for that, Lawson Naidoo from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. Okay.